Hal gave his thoughts on the FaZe clan situation of Snipe, Phony, and Frex splitting
as
up.
a Bloodhound, as a Valkyrie, as a Watson. Those are my most successful characters. So I was like, if we picked up someone like Koi, I would absolutely transition into that role. I have success in that role. Koi's the only option. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, if someone brought that up about me, completely fine. And then I think like 1 or 2 days went by or something like that, and I was like, listen, I don't think it's worth it. We shouldn't do that. I think we should just stick it out with our roster, blah, 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 blah. Well, I told Phony this. He fucking goes and tells Frex instantly that I want to drop him. Doesn't tell me that he told Frex. And then we get into a team call. When I get back from the trip, I get blindsided. I didn't realize that that was the case. I try to talk it out and say, hey, this is not the situation. I had no idea that he had already told Frex this. And they said that they don't trust me anymore, blah, blah, blah. They're going to continue. Like, they don't feel like we can work this out and all this other stuff. And I was just like, all right, like, what the fuck? Whatever. Like, let's really focus on improving our individual skill and work on our team fighting, blah, blah, blah. I get into the call and it's like, oh, by the way, I told him, without telling you for 3 days, while still talking to you, saying, hey, we should get into a call. The whole time they're fucking scheming behind my back on what they want to do. They don't want to talk to me. Whatever. Like, this is where I think the age gap comes into gigantic play in my eyes, because I'm thinking, like, Koiful is the top free agent in the world, like, of individual players that you would want on your team. If they wanted to replace me with Koiful, I would have been like, I think that's a fair conversation to have. I think that would have been a fair conversation. But I definitely think that it was just a gigantic age gap problem. I tried to work it out with them. They didn't want to work it out. I tried getting Frex into a phone call about 14 different times is what it felt like. He refused to talk to me.
Either it's 42 months. Andrew is 24.
I got completely ghosted by them, pretty much. And that's just the end of the story. And
make a business decision to, like, further the team. And that's basically what happened. Like, he wanted to cover for his friend because he was a lot closer to Frex. He was tight with Frex. And Sykes was just more so, or not Sykes, Snipe was more so like a business partner. Or, like I said, he just thought Frex was better than Snipe. So, and he was already thinking about replacing Snipe instead of Frex. Who knows? It was either of those two, but it's probably both. Both are probably true. So, but yeah. It probably went from, like, I don't know. I personally think, but obviously, like I said, I'm biased. I personally think Snipe is a better, like, individual and, like, player than Frex. But that's obviously for a lot of reasons, just because I've played with him, I've watched him play. From, like, I don't know. I personally think, but obviously, like I said, I'm biased. I personally think Snipe is a better, like, individual and, like, player than Frex. But that's obviously for a lot of reasons, just because I've played with him, I've watched him play. Frex doesn't really stream as much. Like, Frex is, like, a very quiet player. So, like, obviously I can be wrong. I just haven't played with Frex, like, at all, except, like, maybe once or twice in Apex. So, but yeah, I don't know. I just hope at the end of the day, like, obviously the team does well, but people shouldn't, like, I feel like, I hope the decision wasn't made because Phony felt bad for Frex instead of feeling that Frex is actually a better player. I hope that was the reason. Because it would, like, like, I've already talked about, it should be business before friends, yes. At the end of the day. It's not debatable. When you're playing, listen, when you are in the position, like, playing video games for a living, and you are picking your friends over possibly having a better team or making it, like, you're just brain dead. Like, I'm sorry. I don't, like, you're playing video games for a living, and you're willing to sacrifice that so you could be nice to your friend. So, like, what, you want to go, like, you want to fail and then go back to your 9 to 5 or go back to school and stuff like that because you decided to pick your fucking friend over the player that was actually better? That could have, solidified your future as a, professional gamer. Like, you're just brain damaged. I'm sorry. I'm like, there's like, there's a time and place to pick your friends, right? But when it comes to, I don't know, playing, trying to solidify your future for playing or doing something that's not like always going to be around. I don't know. And if also like if that person was your friend, they would understand too. Like if you're not doing your part, then you shouldn't be complaining. So it's as simple as that.